since I have no more jokes for you. So please welcome back Amy Grindnose.
Thank you. It's getting that part of the night where things are going to slip out, so just bear with me. Okay. So I promised you something earlier, and I mean to deliver it. Who's ready to get into some hot, sexy erotica? Now, let me tell you, for the younger ones in the audience, this is fully R-rated, so watch out. Truly. Maybe you need to get some earmuffs. So who here has ever read gay erotica? Who in here has ever actually enjoyed that gay erotica? No? Wow! We got one person that found something real good. Okay. Well, one of the things that I find is gay erotica is written by the strangest people, and you're like, I have never met this gay person in my life. I don't know who you're inspired by. But you know, we got 50 Shades of Grey, so we're gonna get something like this. So this book used to be available at Chapters, and I couldn't find it, so I've got an ebook. It's so modern. And it's called Starved. So let's get ready. I wish I had some ambient music. Okay. It has been 11 years since I last had sex. Unlike the stereotypical gay man, I was never on the prowl for sex 24/7, even when I had the time. I was never entirely secure with myself, but who truly is? Awkward. Plenty of guys had told me that I was hot, but I'd never seen it. I didn't think I was hideous, of course. I had always ranked my appearance as average. I was fuckable, but not sensual. I rarely jerked off, mostly because I was too busy. I hardly had time for anything sexual in those days. I was busy taking care of my parents. My dad was battling colon cancer, and my mom had been afflicted with multiple scoliosis for years. This isn't funny, I'm so sorry. With both of them unable to work, I was forced to move back home. My dad was the one that went first, dying quietly in his sleep. What a sexy start, Chapter 1. It wasn't a shock to neither me nor my mom, but nevertheless painful. The following years, I continued caring for my mom until she too passed away as well. It had been 2 years since her death, and my life had become pretty stale. Though I hadn't become aware of it, I had essentially become a robot, locked into a routine of going to work and coming home. Sex or the thought of pursuing a relationship hadn't entered my mind. I wouldn't say I was still mourning, but I had very much so become estranged with my own sexual desires. I mean, I'd see a hot guy from time to time, but I wouldn't do anything about it. I would keep to myself and admire him from afar. That all changed when I met Lee. He entered my life when he started working at the hospital last fall. Good place to meet somebody. Being a nurse in the geriatric unit, I saw him daily. His poor parents. Up till then, I had seen plenty of attractive doctors, but Lee was different. He was staggeringly gorgeous. Even dressed, anybody could tell that he was a guy who liked the gym. His scrubs couldn't conceal the magnificence of his large, sculpted body. His dark Italian features made him look exotic and seductive. The manner in which he walked was one of confidence, as if he easily could take on the world with one single-handed if need be. Every so often, I would find myself sneaking glances at his crotch. His bulge would sway as he would make his way down the corridors. I'd tell myself to get it together, that there wasn't a chance in hell that a guy as perfect as him would give me the time of day. next page. Bradley? I sat by myself in the cafeteria, eating my sandwich and reading the news on the phone. When I looked up, Lee was towering over me, a tray of food in his hand. May I sit here? Even though he said my name, it took me a second to grasp that he was actually talking to me. Yeah, I mean, sure. That's my hot, sexy erotica voice. Does that work for you? It work for you. So, he said, how long have you been working here? Going on 6 years. You're very popular with the staff on our floor. I keep hearing that you're one of the best nurses in our unit. I blushed a bit. If he was trying to flatter me, it was working. I was never great at taking compliments. I just try to do the best I can. Lee smiled at me with those deep brown eyes. I heard that you like Martin Scorsese films. I'm not sure how that's relevant, but hot. Nothing gets me more aroused than Martin Scorsese films. Who the hell had told him that? I immediately assumed it was one of the nurses in our unit. They were always trying to get me a date. Yeah, I love his films. I got Mean Streets on Blu-ray. You've seen it? It was one of his earlier ones. I haven't. Well, since you're not working Friday night and I'm not on call, I figured that you could swing by my place and brush up on your Scorsese. How do you know I'm not working Friday night? I smirked. When I see something I want, I take initiative. Those eyes of his bore into me, triggering a jolt of longing that went straight to my crotch. I was hard. I wanted him to throw me on the table right then and fuck me, not caring about anybody else in the room. I wanted him to ravage me until I was nothing but a trembling, drooling, incoherent mess. He was clearly bold and driven, and always got what he wanted. And he wanted me. The more I discovered about him, the more attractive he became. I spent an hour Friday evening deciding on what to wear. I ended up going with a simple light blue button-down and dark blue jeans. That sure is hot. I didn't want to overdo it. His house was a 10-minute drive from mine. Lee lived in an affluent neighborhood. You know, one of those gated communities where only the upper echelons of the middle class had access. And he's rich. Oh, what a catch. His house was almost exactly how I imagined it. Classy and elegant. It was a 2-story brick McMansion, complete with a white sandstone driveway. I already felt out of place. And that's the end of the first chapter. I'm so close to. Well, that has been some hot, hot gay erotica. Did that arouse anybody? I'm so you know, if any of you guys have been thinking about writing gay erotica, I highly suggest it, because clearly there's not a lot of competition. So, untapped market alert. Looking at you guys. Woo. All right, thank you guys.
That was awesome. I would like to hear chapter 2 one day. So let's move along, and at the end of the evening, to wrap it up, please welcome back Oli X.
Look at that bicep, it works. So we've had slavery and porn. I'm going to close with death. Before I close with death, you might want to stick a French fry in each ear of that youngster over here. This may prove a little disturbing. No, but this is when everybody's got their library, if they've got children and they are alternate type. Edward Gorey's, the Gastric Crumb. It's an alphabet about dead children and how they got It's not the kind of thing I would read at one of these events with and for children. French fry per ear. But I figured in a room full of adults. I have another of his, it's my favorite. It's under his pseudonym, Ogdred Weary. Ogdred Weary. It's called The Curious Sofa. It's a murder mystery. The only one that survives is the sofa. This is death. Oh, girl. Well, it's got big print. No, I don't need to hear that. No, you don't. This is for you. A is for Amy, who fell down the stairs. B is for Basil, assaulted by bears. C is for Clara, who wasted away. D is for Desmond, thrown out of a sleigh. Sorry. E is for Ernest, who choked on a peach. F is for Fanny, sucked dry by a leech. G is for George, smothered under a rug. H is for Hector, done in by a thug. Lucky Hector. It's great. I is for Ida, who drowned in a lake. J is for James, who took lie by mistake. Accidental, wasn't suicide. I hope those French fries are firmly in place. K is for Kate, who was struck with an axe. Favorite, not Carmela, but Kate. Look, with an axe. I love that. L is for Leo, who swallowed some tacks. That's gonna hurt a little. Maybe just a little. Well, now the hands won't work great. M is for Maud, who was swept out to sea. N is for Neville, who died of ennui. O is for Olive, run through with an awl. P is for Prue, trampled flat in a brawl. Step 2. Q is for Quentin, who sank in a mire. R is for Rhoda, consumed by a fire. French fry. S is for Susan, who perished of fits. T is for Titus, who flew into bits. That would be an explosion. Very relevant to today's world, I would think. Nobody's laying an egg like her, I can tell. U is for Una, who slipped down a drain. V is for Victor, squashed under a train. Nightmares much? W is for Winnie, embedded in ice. X is for Xerxes, devoured by mice. Y is for Yorick, whose head was knocked in. Z is for Zilla, who drank too much gin. Personally, I don't think a child is really, if they're much more than, they can understand a word you say, then you should start reading them this stuff. But that's just my personal opinion. My son lives in a different country and we rarely speak. Just the way I like him. Sorry. Any questions? About Edward Gorey, about the Ghastly Crumb Tinies. Yes! Gorgeous little hand wrote that. He's the one that does the opening for PBS Masterpiece Theater, is it? Masterpiece? So that's his animation. His animation and all of these, they're gorgeous. The Curious Sofa one makes you want to go back to the beginning and start all over again. Basically because you think you missed something. Anyway. Oh, we did this. I think we did this. Oh, I did this in an interview with one of the paparazzi. Sorry, David Ball. Didn't really think he was Italian. My favorite book as a child. Well, I really loved Tolkien. I really liked Hans Christian Andersen, the European prince. They edited them for North American audiences, and they became very cleaned up. They didn't want their kids to be afraid. Whereas in Europe, they were like, "Sink or swim, bitch." But they really do. Sing, out of my hands. Yes. So I really love Hans Christian. If you read the original Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, there's incest and cannibalism and and your grandmother sitting in a chair reading it sleep and you're hearing about this. Or when you look at some of the early Tolkien stories about where that generation of elves that we all know so well, where their foundations were, who died to let them be there. It's rather gruesome. And another one I should bring to one of these is Tolkien's The Children of Thorin. Dragons and incest and betrayal, all the biggies. Anything else? Sorry? Was I just talking to myself? I have a mic and I got a fan on me. It's like, shut up. I don't know. Is there anything else? What do I need? Any questions about life in general?
Ask a question!
Pardon?
What does it all mean?
What does it all mean? Oh, what does life mean? What is the meaning? Nothing. There's a proverbial old Broadway expression that's used in a bunch of different Broadway music. No, I know. Spiders. The young are out roaming and they love to bite me and I swell up. I love spiders. My house is filled with them. And I got bit not too long ago and I had a bruise the size of half my arm. Look at it. It looked like I'd been jabbing something into me improperly. Life in general, means nothing. We're all just a bunch of happenstance, accidents, the multiverse, sneeze somewhere, sometime down in the past. A bunch of other chemicals landed on this bunch of stone and interacted with some other chemicals, and here we are. In this outfit.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. We'd like to thank Deux Soleils. They're awesome. Johnny, Stephen, and Monashi, and the rest of the crew at Deux Soleils. So excellent. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you all for coming tonight. We do have another, like I said, a kids show, but then, we could probably squeeze some out so you could borrow a kid or whatever. September 30th at the United Church at 15th and Burrard, and it starts at 2 p.m. So come on by and check that show out. And what else do we have? So please follow and like our performers tonight. And please, another round of applause for